What's up, guys? You're probably wondering, what is he doing? Well, sometimes you gotta improvise. So, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to come out and give you guys an update on the little coupe that I picked up. I'll go ahead and tell you, keep an open mind. This thing is not perfect by no means, but it is a really good base for a coupe Foxbody. So we'll get into it and kind of give you an overview of the car and what the plan is for it. So here it is, 1991 4-cylinder 5-speed car. So as you can see, we got matching VIN tags everywhere. Now, some of them can't really make them out, so old, but they're all there. This car has got all of the original fenders, quarters, doors, and I think it's even got the original car light glass all the way around. I know that one's a car light. Nope, that's been replaced. That one's not a car light. It's alright though. But yeah, here it is. Here's a little coupe project. Needs some love for sure. So, as you probably guessed, we're gonna do a V8 5-speed, well, V8 and V8 manual transmission conversion on it. It's already 5-speed, so we don't have to do a pedal assembly or anything like that. We just got to put a V8 transmission in it. But yeah, everything's pretty straight on the car. I got one spot right here on this bumper. I may send that off. There is a place about an hour from here that at least back in the day, a friend of mine had one fixed that was, I mean, it was just creamed. It was totaled, and I mean, he got it back and it looked like a brand new bumper. So, and it didn't cost much. So I may do that. That way I can keep the original front bumper that goes with the car. I'd just like to do that. But as you can see, the lines are still pretty straight on the car. No issues there. Now the guy that I got it from, he took some of this trim off. This right here, I think he probably messed that up. He probably destroyed this run channel molding, I think is what that's called, when he pulled that off. But you know, you can get that stuff new from LMR. It's not bad. But all the trim around the windows, he actually pulled all that out and went ahead and I think he cleaned most of it up, and I think he painted it too. That's pretty much as far as he got with any kind of exterior restoration. And I had to get this thing out from under that tree because that tree will ruin something quick. It's been sitting out here about 2 weeks, and as you can see, it's already got crap all over it, so I got to get this thing out from under that tree. He took the mirrors off, a lot of the trim off. Got to get all that stuff cleaned up, painted, and put back on. And you may be saying, well, dang, it looks like this thing needs a paint job. Well, yeah, it might, but I want to show you something. Look at that. All the tree crap off of it. I did that. See that? I did that in about 60 seconds with a rag by hand with some buffing compound. So, yeah. Imagine what this whole thing will do when I put the buffer on it. I mean, is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be good enough for me? Absolutely. Needs the emblems, as you can see. Got a scratch right there on the trunk lid, so may have to end up painting the trunk lid. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I don't care. I mean, it's not a big deal to sand this trunk lid down and paint it. It's not a big deal at all. Back bumper, of course, gonna have to slick it down, throw some paint on it. Quarter windows, yeah, they're about like the rest of them. They're not great, but you know, I've seen so much worse, guys. I've been looking at these cars and studying these cars for years, and I've just slowly watched them deteriorate down to nothing. It's getting so hard to find one that's in reasonable condition. So you know, I looked at so many, and this was one of the nicest ones that I could get my hands on at a reasonable price. And you know, is it going to be a factory V8 5-speed car? No, I don't care. You know, I'm going to do everything to this car that needs to be done to where it looks and functions like it did come from the factory with that stuff, so it won't be a problem. Now on the outside, let's see, I got a spot right here, a little rust spot, and there's a little bit of bubble in there. So you know, once I get that buffed, I'll hit that with some touch-up paint. I mean, it's not a big deal. This car's, what is it, 32 years old or something like that. So I mean, we can't expect it to be perfect. This is the original paint on this car. Got no scratch right here, not a big deal. Clean that up, put a little touch-up paint in it, let it go. Somebody's already, looks like they got the pinstripe off. They did us a favor there. I don't like pinstripes. So now, you may be wondering, well, does it run? No, of course it don't run. I don't typically bring things home that run. So, but it does spin over, as you can see. I just put it in gear, jumped the starter solenoid, made it pull itself out of the hole over there where it was sitting. So that tells me it will run. And yes, I've sprayed some starter fluid down in the intake, and it does hit, it does run, and it will run. I think the only thing it needs to run is going to be a fuel pump, and it may not need a fuel pump. Now let me show you one. The guy I got it from, let me turn this key off. The guy I got it from, he pulled the entire interior out of this car. Well, except for the inside quarter trim pieces there, but he pulled the door panels, pulled the seats, carpet, console, everything came out. He actually looks like he steam cleaned the carpet. And to be honest, it didn't come out bad. I mean, yeah, of course it could be better, but take a look at the other side here. So yeah, I know the seats are not pretty, but it is what it is. This one's still loose, but as you can see, I mean, the carpet, it doesn't look bad. I got all the quarter trim pieces, the kick panel pieces. Now, there's an armrest pad. It's junk, but LMR for the win there. They got us covered. But the guy was good about making sure that he kept up with all of the parts that he took out. And I told him, I said, man, that's a big deal to me. I want everything that came with this car. And it looks like he made sure all of it was there. So as you can see, this trim is, I mean, it is not bad at all. Here's our door panel, window switch pieces. Look like they're in pretty good shape. You just gotta get some new pads to go on there. Those will slick that up, may paint it or something, I don't know. We might even do a black interior conversion on this car. I don't know yet. I've never been a big fan of gray, but you know, when it's clean, it don't look bad. So Yeah, it's in pieces, but that doesn't scare me. I mean, I can put this thing back together. It's not a big deal. There's one piece of trim that goes up here on the, I guess the other side. Goes up there below the, under the bottom of the windshield. Got the mirrors. You got those all taped up. Looks like he tried to do a paint job on them, but we'll have to slick that up and redo it. Got both mirrors though. Looks like they're in pretty good shape. Both door panels are there. They look to be in pretty good shape. You've probably seen on some other videos those door panels cleaned up really good. The guy did us a favor. He got the old bubbling tint off of the back window. That would have been a nightmare to do, so he got that done. So we got clean glass all the way around the car. Yeah. Of course, we got the rest of the trim pieces back here. All that stuff will have to be cleaned up. Might just buy those new. That's probably not worth the time to clean those up and paint them. Let's see. Coffee can here. Oh yeah, see, he got every little interior piece that goes with it. There's your ashtray for smokers. Everything in there. Look at that. Even got the old shift knob. The remote to the CD player. So got everything in there. Let's see what we got in the trunk. Get this key out. There we go. There we go. So there's your console. There's all the rest of the front and rear window trim. It's all there. It's all in good shape. All I gotta do is clean it up, put it back on. Not a big deal. Yeah, may have to put a console lid. That's the original. As you know, they don't last very well. Somebody put an amplifier in here. That thing will probably have to get rid of that. Looks like it's about as old as the car is. But yeah, guys, that's just a little coupe. Tail lights are cracked a little bit. Got a crack there. That one's got a crack. Yeah, you could run them. It'd be fine. But I'm just so picky about stuff like that. So the plan for that will be right there. Right, your LX tail light right there. And those are perfect. I mean, they're flawless, excellent condition. So we'll put those in a little coupe. Cause yeah, you guessed it, I'm putting cheese graters back in this thing. I think a GT should have cheese grater tail lights in it. It just makes them pop from the back. As you can see, not everybody likes them, because somebody pulled these out and put some LX tail lights in it, but we'll fix that. I'm gonna get some ordered and get them painted up, get them swapped out. We'll be able to use those for the little coupe project here. So yeah, guys, there she is. I'll try to document as much as I can in this little project. I'll probably just go ahead and order some coupe quarter glasses. You can get the coupe ones, just got the Mustang emblem. Unlike the LX and GT ones, they don't have the Mustang in them, but the coupe versions do. So may just go ahead and order a new set of those, put them in and be done with it. I'll have to mess with trying to restore those. So that's pretty much it, guys. Typical old Foxbody, but it's in my opinion, it's straight as an arrow. Got one little spot right there. Paint's chipping off right there. But look at that. See that's a separate section. A little scratch right there. No big deal. Sand that down, put a little bit of Bondo in it. We'll tape off that section and just paint that little bottom trim piece right there. No big deal. So yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna try to fix the front bumper. we'll clean up and sand and repaint the rear bumper as well. It's in excellent shape. May have to put a little filler in some of these places where that's coming apart. Man, that's coming. That's a crack right there. I may send that one off too and let the guy do both of them. Be done with it. But the big question will be for me, like I said, I'm not painting the whole car. Not gonna do it. But I may paint that black side molding body color. Let me know what you think. Will it look better like it is? Or should we get rid of it? Or not get rid of it, but you know what I mean, clean it up, paint it body color. We'll try to get a nice set of wheels to go on it, of course. Ponies look nice, but they just don't do it justice. So along with doing the V8 swap, some of you may know, probably know, 4-cylinder Foxbodies have a 7.5 inch rear end under them. Now, could you use that? Absolutely. Could I put a V8 in it and leave that and zip it up and down the road? Absolutely. And I'll probably do that. I might even do a couple of burnouts with that 7.5 inch rear end. We'll see. But I've got a rear end. Matter of fact, back to the GT again. That'll be the rear end that goes under it. Because that's not the factory rear end that goes in this car. I did a little swapping around because when I got this car, the GT, the guy had set up some 410 gears for the AOD, trying to make that old AOD come to life. So he put him some his buddy put him some 410 gears in there, and they didn't set them up right, so it was roaring really bad. So I found another rear end, and just so I could get the car, you know, driving around and get some more information on, you know, what all it needed to drive it a couple of weeks. I put just a factory 273 rear end up under this car. And I've got the other one in the garage there with the 410. So what we'll do is we'll put a gear in that rear end right there. Probably a 373 or 410. And we'll put that in the little coupe here. Then of course we got to swap front end. I don't think I'll have to do springs. I think I can make these springs work. I'm planning on probably cutting the coil springs on both of these cars. So what I may do is put the V8 in this thing, get everything set up, and kind of see how the ride height is on the front. So you got another little spot right there. It's not dented, I don't think. It's just a little scrape. Put a little touch-up paint in that. Let it go. Not a big deal. Yeah, we'll get everything in here and just kind of see how the ride height is, and we'll figure out how much we need to cut off these coil springs to get this thing sitting down to where it looks good. Get some stance to it. Figure out what kind of wheels we want to put on it. I'm thinking something black. Get that red shining up the best we can. Get the windows tinted. Put some black wheels on it. So if you're wondering what this color is, it is actually the same color as the GT. That's the same exact paint code. So the code is EP for vermilion. There's about, I don't remember, I think there's about 5 different shades of red for the Foxbody years they're all very, very close. They're all very, very similar shade. Just, you know, slight differences. But yeah, this both of these cars, same exact paint code, EP Vermilion. So, oh yeah, one more thing that we'll have to swap out is the instrument cluster. As you can see, it's got the 85 mile an hour cluster in it. So we'll have to get that swapped out for a 140 V8 version. So dash is in pretty good shape, no cracks. Usually these dash pads are busted all up, but that's not. You know, it doesn't match very well. As you can see, these different plastic pieces, they tend to, over the years, they tend to fade one way and the other one will fade another way, and they just look different. So that's, you know, if I have to go back and paint that stuff, I'm gonna do it black. I'm not gonna come in here and paint this stuff with that, you know, gray dye. I'm gonna go ahead and just go black. I mean, you can get away with doing so much stuff black. Just be done with it. At the end of the day, all I gotta do is, the worst of it would be black headliner, of course. That's not bad. All this stuff up here is already black. So you pull your interior quarter pieces out, slick those up with some Scotch-Brite and alcohol, and dye on black. I mean, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. It's a lot of work, yeah. It's not a big deal. So let me know what y'all think. I'm excited. I sold my last coupe that I had in around about 2013. You know, in about, I guess about 2 years after I sold that car, that's when it's like all of a sudden coupes were hard to find. Or maybe that's when everybody started wanting them, I don't know. But and I have been looking for another coupe pretty much ever since then. You see down in here, that's a common place that these cars rust. Yeah, there might be just a fuzz of surface rust on some of that, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not rusty, you know what I mean? So we'll just scuff that down with some Scotch-Brite, blast some black or red paint in there, and let her ride. It'll last another 30 years. I mean, see why I had to get it out from under that tree. I mean, that's just 2 weeks worth right here. Look at that. Then cat got on there. Birds did their business on there. That tree will ruin a car or a boat. I gotta get that boat moved too before it gets 10 times worse than what it is. All right, guys. A little scrap cut there. Some touch-up paint in that. Not a big deal. So, yeah, you may not be able to see it, but you know, that right there is all I needed. The first thing I did when this car got here and came off the trailer, I bought this thing sight unseen. But the guy did an awesome job. Shout out to him if he happens to run across this video one day. Man, I appreciate you being honest with me about the car. He didn't hide anything. Every little scratch, every little blemish, he took up close pictures of it and said, hey, check this out, look at this. I mean, just an upstanding guy. I mean, he did me right on it. So, but you know, I was kind of worried about this paint. I didn't know what it was gonna look like. I thought, man, if I have to paint this thing and it's, you know, V8 swap and a paint job, I've lost my tail on this thing. Wouldn't be able to come out ahead. But as you can see, I mean, look at it. You don't think this whole car will look good after a good buffing? You're crazy. I think it will look awesome. It will be cool as it can be. So, all right, guys. There's a little coupe. You got any questions? Feel free to leave me a comment. Hopefully there'll be some of y'all out there that's interested in a little coupe. I know a lot of people like the coupes. Some people don't, some people do. I love them. I think they're awesome. And I just, I wanted to get my hands on one before they just got, you know, really dang near impossible to get. They're just about there, guys. I mean, you know, even 10 years ago, this car would be worth about $500. That would be it. All anybody would pay for it. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for this car, but I promise you it wasn't $500. I honestly can't believe I spent what I spent on it, but you know, when you find one that's straight and has the potential that this one has, and you want one, you got to jump on them. I mean, you got to be willing to take the risk, and that's what I did with this car. And I can already tell I'm in good shape. I mean, I got a lot of work ahead of me, but I mean, I'm not scared of that. It's just a matter of getting out here and doing it, making it happen. So, all right, guys, feel free to leave me a comment. Any questions you got about the little coupe, fire away. I'm pretty familiar with how to do the swap, but if there's anything out there that y'all are not sure about how to do, you know, I'll be glad to try to answer the questions for you. I'm pretty familiar with the process. So fire away. Let me know what you think. Let me know, give me some wheel ideas, or let me know what you think about this trim around the side of the car. You know, should we leave it or should we get rid of it? Seems like these things just, and they seem to pop with everything being full body color. So that may be what we do. May tape that thing off and just go around and paint that stuff. I may have to pull it off. As you can see, it's starting to curl, just like all of it does. But guys, I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, this car over here, look at this. You see how much nicer the paint is on this one versus that one. But look at what this one, it's doing the same thing. See right there? It's peeling back. I mean, that's just what they do. These things are old, man. They're old. I got another spot over here somewhere. Yep, starting to peel back right there. That's the fender on this one. Somebody has jacked up on this thing, put a jack right here under the bottom of that fender, and they've pushed this whole fender out. So I gotta take that ground effect off and loosen all that up and try to get that straightened out. You can kind of see it right here. That part right there is higher than the cowl panel, and you can see it's pushed up against that trim piece right there. See the gap under there? So that right there tells you that this whole thing's pushed up. So then you can clearly see by the gap, that gap just gets wider as it goes up. So that whole thing just needs to shift down about, you know, 1/8, 3/16 of an inch, something like that. But yeah, I love these old cars. Man, it's hard to keep them nice nowadays. Hard to find nice ones. And I got to get both of these in the garage. The story is that this car was parked because the clutch went out. So I don't know if the clutch was slipping or what, but you know, obviously it will move. If it will move the way I was just doing it by jumping the starter solenoid with a screwdriver, then it will move under its own power when it's running. So check the inertia switch in here, make sure it's not tripped, and see if we can't get this thing fired up. I mean, I may fire up a little 4-cylinder and go out there and smoke these old tires off. I don't know. We'll see. So, got to get this little 4-banger out of here. It ain't doing it no justice, I promise. Look at how small that thing is. Alright guys, I had to come get the camera and turn it back on. I just came out here and turned the key on in the little coupe, and I heard the fuel pump kick on. That's good, right? Probably won't be able to hear it on camera, but it's coming on. Let's see if it'll crank up. Yeah, I sprayed some brake clean in the air filter. Fuel pump's running, but I don't think it's getting anything up to the front. Let me hit it again with the brake clean, see what happens. Getting dark. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. Oh yeah, give it a good dose. Don't try that at home. Do not recommend doing the things that you see me doing. All right, here we go. Man, well, this thing wants to run. So, next question is there any gas in the tank? Gauge is showing full, but would you trust a 30-something-year-old fuel gauge? I don't. Fuel pump's running. If I can find a Schrader valve on the fuel line on this thing, I might can check for fuel pressure. There's one right there. Let's see, let me get something to poke that with. See if there's any fuel coming up right there. Be right back. Alright, got me a little punch here. See if I can poke that Schrader and see if anything comes up. Nope. So no fuel pressure. Well, I guess that's why it ain't cranking on its own fuel, huh? Nothing. Nothing. So, I wonder, maybe the hose in the tank is rotted. It's not letting the pump pick up anything. Oh yeah, you can hear it. I can hear the gas circulating. Now I don't know if that's coming. I don't know if that's coming back through the return line. I wouldn't think so, because if it was coming back from the return line, then we should have fuel pressure at the Schrader valve right here, and we do not. So that makes me think that a hose is off, probably in the tank. So it's probably just picking up gas out of the tank. It's just swirling it inside the tank, and it's not going up through the fuel system. Pump just kicked off. Let's hit it with that brake clean one more time just for fun. You want to? Dang, battery cable's acting funny too. Oh yeah. Give it a good little hit. Let it snort that up in there. If we can get it to turn up. likes that brake clean. Saying, give me some more. Give me some fuel and I'll run. Still no fuel pressure. Oh, uh-oh, look at that. See that? It's trying to get something up here. It is trying. That gas does not smell good. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, now you got that old gas all in your fuel lines. It don't matter, guys. It don't matter. Fuel lines, the whole fuel, every part of the fuel system has got to come out except for the tank and the pump. Tank and the pump can be reused, but the lines would work, but the ends are different. Up here is different, you know, obviously because your V8 fuel lines come straight up from right here. So yeah, you could make them work, but I'm probably going to get a donor car, most likely. I've already been looking at some. That's a 91, and I'll just pull all that stuff out and swap it over. I mean, it's the simplest thing to do. Just pull it out, put it in, good to go. So I don't care. We're just playing right now, guys. We're not. I'm just goofing around right now. So I don't care if we got mud in those fuel lines. It's not gonna matter. Man, this thing wants to run so bad. It wants to burn rubber. It wants to go out there on the road and smoke the tires, or at least one tire. It wants to smoke at least one of them. It wants to run so bad. It's just like a Ford. They want to run. You put all the pieces and give it some power and get some fuel to it, it'll run. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you go. May drop that tank out and do a little investigating and see what's going on. I can smell the exhaust. If that ain't motivation right there, I don't know what is. Alright guys, talk to you later.